The rain hadn't stopped for 3 days, not the soft kind, not the gentle, peaceful kind. This was the steady, endless rain that made the city feel tired, like it had been awake too long. Water streamed down buildings. Puddles swallowed sidewalks. Streetlights blurred into glowing circles through the wet air. Like the whole world was seen through tears, inside a patrol car parked under a flickering street lamp. Officer Daniel Reyes watched the drops race down the windshield. 2:13 a.m. He'd checked the time 3 times in the last minute. Tonight was his last shift. 22 years in uniform. 22 years of sirens, shouting, broken doors, and broken people. Tomorrow morning he would wake up and not be a police officer. Beside him, Officer Mia Carter blew on the lid of a paper coffee cup. She was 26. Quick, smart, brave in the way only people who haven't seen everything yet can be. "You nervous?" she asked without looking at him. Daniel smirked slightly. "About what?" She turned to him. "Not being a cop tomorrow." Daniel stared out at the empty street. Rain bounced off the hood of the car. "I don't know how to be anything else," he said quietly. Mia nodded. She didn't joke. She didn't tease. Some answers weren't for humor. The radio crackled. Both of them straightened instantly. All units. Possible armed robbery in progress. 8th and Marshall. Corner pharmacy. Silent alarm triggered. Daniel's hand tightened on the steering wheel. "That's 3 blocks," he said. Mia was already flipping the switch. Red and blue lights exploded across the wet pavement. The engine roared, tires cutting through water. The night shifted from quiet. Too urgent. The pharmacy lights flickered overhead. The air smelled like disinfectant and cheap air freshener. A teenage boy stood at the counter. Arm extended, a small revolver shaking in his hand. "Put the money in the bag." He yelled, but his voice cracked halfway through. Behind the counter, the pharmacist, a thin, gray-haired man, fumbled with the register, fingers trembling so hard he could barely press the buttons. The bell above the door jingled violently as it burst open. "Police." "Drop the weapon." Daniel's voice filled the room like thunder. The boy spun. Eyes wide, breath coming fast and loud. For a split second, time stretched thin. Mia had her weapon trained. Steady. Daniel saw it instantly. The fear. Not rage. Not hate. Fear. Double quotes. "Hey," Daniel said, lowering his voice. "Calm. Even. Look at me. Not the gun." "Me?" The boy's eyes locked onto his. "What's your name?" Daniel asked. "Tyler." "Okay, Tyler. I'm Daniel. We can fix this. Nobody here needs to get hurt." Sirens wailed outside. Tyler's breathing sped up. "They'll put me in prison. My mom, she needs medicine." They cut her treatment off. "We can't afford it." Daniel believed him. Some lies are loud. Truth usually sounds like this, shaking. "Tyler," Daniel said gently, "if you fire that gun, everything changes. Forever. Put it down. Let's talk." A long second passed, then another. The revolver slipped from Tyler's fingers and clattered on the tile floor. Mia moved in, cuffing him carefully. Tyler didn't resist. He just cried. The station felt different at sunrise, quieter, colder. Tyler sat in a holding room. Head down, Don Daniel, read the file. 17 years old. Honor student. No record. Mother, Maria Bennett. Light stage kidney disease. Insurance denied extension of treatment. Balance overdue. Mia leaned against the desk. The system failed them. Daniel nodded slowly, but he still brought up gun, he said. Silence sat between them. Then Daniel stood. "I've got one last thing to do before I turn in my badge. By 9 a.m. The rain had stopped. Clouds drifted apart, revealing a pale blue sky. Like the city had taken a deep breath. Daniel walked into the hospital administration office in full uniform. Mia followed, confused. He placed a thick envelope on the desk. Inside was a check. His unused vacation payout, his retirement bonus. Advance years of saving. I want this applied to Maria Bennett's treatment account, he said, effective immediately. The administrator blinked. Sir, this covers months of care. She gets treatment, Daniel said. Today. Mia stared at him. You saved 4 years. Daniel smiled gently. I've seen enough funerals, he said. I'd rather see one life continue. The district attorney reviewed everything. Minor, no record. Weapon never fired. Immediate surrender. And now the mother receiving treatment. Tyler was offered probation, counseling, community service. A second chance. When he heard, he cried again. Why would you help me? He asked Daniel. Daniel looked at his badge. Because being a cop isn't about locking people away, he said. It's about protecting what's still worth saving. That evening, Daniel turned in his uniform. No speeches. No crowd. Just a handshake from the captain. Outside, the streets were dry. Sunlight reflected in the windows. Mia jogged up. You sure about retirement? Daniel looked at the sky. Yeah, he said softly. I think I just handled my last case. His phone buzzed. A text. Hi, Officer Reyes. This is Tyler. Mom got her treatment today. She's smiling again. I'll make this right. I promise. Daniel exhaled slowly. 22 years of sirens. And this? This was the call he'd carry home. He slipped his badge into his pocket. Not as an officer anymore, but as a reminder that sometimes the best arrests are the ones that stop a life from falling apart. He walked into the evening, lighter than he had in decades, and somewhere across the city, a mother slept peacefully. A son had a second chance. And 2 officers proved that justice and compassion can ride in the same patrol car.